Hey, what's going on YouTube? This your girl Poppy, aka Showtime. Hey, I'm responding to the two videos that two studs had did on rules to being a stud. In my opinion, and in some of my friends' opinion, there are certain rules and very little guidelines you gotta follow to being a stud. Like, there's categories to it, and studs are usually known as the pretty boys because they're still feminine and they embrace being a female. It's just that they usually dress a certain way or they usually act a certain way, meaning they take on the more masculine part of the relationship. You know, dykes or butches, for lack of better words, they're the ones that usually walk around with, like, you know, strap-ons, or they shave off all their hair, or it's just not really noticeable what they are when you see them. Like, for the most part, when you see a stud in the street, if you're looking the right way, you can say, okay, yeah, that's a female. But usually when you see a dyke, you're looking and you're like, damn, you know, is that a dude or is that a female? You know? And in the stereotypical community, studs are the ones that, like, they usually don't have a problem with being a female. They know they're a female, but they just dress a certain way. You know, sometimes baggy, not too baggy. But dykes are the ones that, like, they usually dress a little over baggy. You know, usually have really short haircuts. Some can have long haircuts, but if you've been around the stereotypical community, you can definitely tell a difference between a dyke and a stud. There's a big difference for the most part. You know, when you consider yourself a stud, it's almost like, you know, I'm embracing the fact that I'm a female, but I like to take on the more masculine side, so therefore I'm gonna act this way. You know, and then I do have friends that are dykes, and they usually the one that they just pretty much in their mind they haven't made up that, you know, they're the man of the relationship. Like, this is how it's gonna go. You know, I'm not taking on the masculine role, I'm taking on the male role. And studs usually don't do that. I mean, there are certain guidelines. Everything is not equal. You know, it is somewhat close, but it's not equal. I mean, you're not gonna have your girlfriend in the house with you walking around with, like, a thong and like some heels talking about shut the fuck up. You know, it usually doesn't work like that. You know, usually the stud just comes forth, sets the ground rules. Like myself, when I get into a relationship, I let it know, like, right from the beginning that, you know, I'm taking on the masculine role. Although most females know this because, you know, I don't approach studs, so I only approach femmes. So that's my take on it. There are small guidelines. You know, if you're a stud, usually fall in the pretty boy category. If you're a stud, you usually take on the more masculine role in a relationship. You know, if you're a stud, there's usually a certain role that you play in the bedroom. I mean, if you're a stud, you usually have, like, more of the protector, like the guardian of the relationship. You usually take on that role. So y'all leave some comments, leave some feedback, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up, let me know what you think about this, and I'll get back at y'all.